Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. My name's Kyle, and today we are doing the acoustic guitar and every teardrop is a waterfall. Now, if you're new here, new to the channel, typically I usually just do piano tutorials. I do have some covers where I do, piano and acoustic guitar. However, my kind of specialty is piano tutorials. I'm not really a good guitar teacher, so if you're here for, just specifically guitar, I apologize, but this probably isn't going to be the best guitar tutorial you watch, but I'm going to do my best to try to make it somewhat watchable. Alright, so before we start the video, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Joe Zealand. I actually learned this from his tutorial. I'll link that in the description below. But I did kind of alter some things just to make it more like the album version, as I do have the acoustic stem in the actual song. So there were a few things I wanted to alter here and there, but overall this is kind of based on his version, and he's amazing at guitar tutorials, and he's usually dead on when it comes to Chris's chords. So definitely go check him out, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we do have to tune the guitar to a little bit of a different tuning here. Fortunately, it's not too crazy like some of Chris's other tunings. So we're tuning the 6th string down to D. The 5th string stays at A. The 4th string stays at D. 3rd string stays at G. 2nd string goes down to A. And the 1st string is still at E. So really you're just tuning the top string, the 6th string, down to D, keeping everything else, and just tuning the B string down to A. Alright, so first I'm going to go over all the chords throughout the entire song, and then I'll kind of get into the strumming pattern toward the end. So for the actual song itself, the acoustic doesn't come in until the second half of the first verse. All the kids, they dance. Now obviously if you're playing the song solo acoustic, you're going to want to play throughout the entire song. So we'll go over the verse chords first. So we're up here on the 5th fret. First finger is on the A string right here. 5th fret. Then you're placing your middle finger and your ring finger, the next string down, on the 6th and 7th fret. So middle finger 6th, ring finger 7th. And then pinky is going to be on the next string down from that, the G string. That's going to be on the 7th as well. The reason we do that is because we start off, we're going to lift that ring finger up like that. And I'm probably going to have some charts in the corner as well as I play these chords, just to kind of make it a little bit easier. So there's that. Like I said, that second chord, you're just lifting that ring finger off. And that's just those first two chords there. Now you can play the entire 6 strings, all 6 strings if you want. Sometimes I'll kind of mute this top string here with my pointer finger right there. I think that sounds better overall. Alright, now for the second half of the riff, we're going to come up here, we're going to mute the 6th string with that thumb if you can. A is open. Then on the D string, you're going to place your pointer finger on 7. Ring finger on 9, and then pinky, right below that on the G string, is on 9 as well. And the reason for that, you're going to lift that ring finger up. And there's that, then we just keep repeating that, same thing. So this, in my opinion, is the hardest part of the song, because you're doing a lot of kind of movement between like these 2 strings here. And I naturally want to pick my pinky up. So you might have trouble with that, but if you just go slow, even right there, see I'm down there, you want to be up here. So you repeat that. That's the entire verse. Or sorry, the first half of the verse. It's the main riff, the intro, main riff, ending. And anytime you hear those keys play like that, you play that riff. All right, before going into the second half of the verse, I'll slide up here to this, the 3rd and 4th string, 14th fret. Kind of hard to see that right there, but 14th fret. So this might sound something like this. Just like that. Then we get into the next part, which sounds like this. Alright, so once again, this is the second half of the verse. So for the first verse, it would be all the kids they dance, all the kids all night. Once again, this is where the guitar actually comes in for the studio version, as well as the live version, I guess. So we're up here. I'm kind of keeping the same pattern here. If you notice throughout the song, we're doing the same thing with the notes. You know, we had... So we're kind of doing the same thing throughout the entire song. So just keep that in mind. But now we're up here on the 9th fret. Once again, we're probably going to be meeting that 6th string with our thumb. So 9th fret, I have my ring finger on that, of the A string. And then we're all the way open until the 2nd string. I believe it's the 2nd string, let me double check that. Nope, so it's actually the 3rd string, the G string. We're going to have our pointer finger on 7, and then our pinky, same string, on 9. Once again, mimicking that. So there's that chord there. Now we come down here. I apologize. There's probably going to be a lot of cuts in this. It's just because I keep messing up explaining it. But so we come down here to this next part. We're on the 3rd string here. We have our middle finger on here. So 3rd string, 6th fret. We place our pinky on the 7th string. Sorry, the 7th fret of the 3rd string. And then we have our ring finger just above that. This is on the 7th fret of the 4th string. Then once again, we're going to be lifting our pinky off. And the 3rd chord, we slide down here. We're on the 3rd string. The 2nd fret, we have our pointer finger right here. And once again, your ring finger, or sorry, your pinky is going to be on the same string. So 3rd string on the 4th fret. And then we have our ring finger jump up here to the 4th string on the 4th fret as well. And then you should know the drill by now. We're going to lift off that pinky. And then the final chord, doing a typical power chord here. This time we're keeping that 6th string open. And we just have pointer finger on 5 on the A string, 5th string. And then on 7 for the 4th string. And once again 7 on the 3rd string. And there's that chord there. And then right here we can kind of do a little, but we'll talk about strumming at the end. Alright, so from this point you kind of have most of the chords for the entire song, but now we go into this next part, and it's going to be chords that we've already dealt with. But this is where the guitar comes in, or Jonny's electric guitar comes in, and it sounds something like this. So what that is that 3rd chord we just learned in that sequence. Right there. Doing that same thing. And going up to the 4th chord we just learned in that sequence. And you just repeat that 4 times. It kind of sounds a little off, but real quickly I'll overplay just the acoustic so you can hear what that sounds like. Yeah, so that's the acoustic directly from the song. I just went through and listened to the stems, the acoustic stem over and over and over, and just kind of played it by ear. So yeah, the beginning of the 2nd verse, and everything just loops once again. Same exact chords, same structure. And then once we get to the end of that 1st verse, we go into the as we soar, or as we saw, as we saw this light. That's this part here. So it's the 2nd half of the verse. We just play that right there. And that plays twice, I believe, because then we get into the as we soar walls, that part there, same thing. Then we get into the is a waterfall. That's once again where Jonny's electric guitar comes in. It's the same thing as that first time. Then we get into the bridge. So you can hurt me bad, that part, which sounds something like this. Alright, so this part's relatively simple. There's a little bit of a stretch here for this first chord. We're essentially doing a power chord here. So this is similar to this chord down here, where we were on the fourth string with our pointer finger, and then our ring finger and pinky finger. We're on the 7th fret of the 4th and 3rd string. We're just moving up to 7 and 9. So it's open, or we're actually going to probably mute that string right there. So mute. You should mute that with your thumb if you want, or you can just kind of push with your pointer finger here. So mute, and then we're on 7, 9, 9, and then open, open. There's that first part there, so you can hurt me. And then right here, I'm going to do a little bit of a stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift our first pointer finger off right here. We're going to slide it down 1 fret and then move it down 1 string. So now we're on the 4th string. Then our middle finger is actually going to come up here to where our pointer finger was. And you're going to make sure you lift off that ring finger right there. Well, it's kind of a tough move. Bit of a stretch too, but essentially we're just trying to get this note here down to there. So once again. Once again, that is right there is open, and then 7, 6, and then 9, and then open, open. But you can hurt me bad. Hurt me bad. And then down here, back to that same chord we had before, that power chord. So open, 5, 7, 7. And then on Still I Raise, we're just going to slide this down 1 fret. Down to 4, open, 4, 6, 6. And then right here, you probably can keep that open if you want, actually. Or you can mute it. Sounds kind of off, so probably mute that with your pointer finger there. And then we slide up once again. Right here, we can play that 6th string open. That's it. So your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th chord is just sliding like that. So from the top one more time, You Can Hurt Me Bad. Once again, if you're new here, I don't typically sing. I'm not a good singer, so I kind of just speak the lyrics. We have Hurt Me Bad. Still I Raise. Still I Raise the Flag, and then from here we just go back into that same pattern there. Keep repeating that 4 times, and then we get into the ending, which is the same thing as the verse. And that's it. That's the entire song. Alright, now I'm going to do my best to go over the strumming pattern for you. Once again, I'm not typically a guitar teacher. It's kind of a newer format for me, especially with kind of 2 angles going on here. So pretty much overall, what it really is just kind of alternating down, up, down. It's really not anything too crazy. For the album version itself, they're doing a lot of... they have multiple acoustic guitars doing different panning for different ears. But essentially how I mimic it is I kind of just... like I said, just alternating down, up, down. And just kind of giving some spaces here and there. So it's not just... it's... so down, up, down, up, down, down. So some gaps in there. I mean, if you want, you can play a little more simplistic too, like the keys. But essentially, I'm just alternating down, up, down, and just kind of playing it with a few breaks in there. So even right off the bat, it's not, it's... part right here. All right, so that's probably the best description I'm going to be able to give of the strumming pattern. Once again, I'm not like a main guitar teacher. You know, I don't really do this that much, so hopefully this hasn't been too bad. But I kind of just want to recap the entire song just to make sure I get everything right as for like where like chords lay for verses and stuff like that, and for lyrics. So starting off once again at the beginning, we have this part here, just following that melody. Play it twice. Then after that, this is right before all the kids, they dance. So you come up here once again, the 14th fret. Then all the kids, they dance. Here, Jonny's guitar comes in. Just play that 4 times. When we get back into the verse, once again, we just repeat everything we just did. Play that melody twice. Then we get up here, maybe I'm in the black, maybe I'm on my knees, that part there. And then as we get into the as we saw walls, as we saw this light, that's the same part there as the verse. That repeats twice because then we have as we soar walls. So every siren is a symphony. Then every tear is a waterfall. Same thing here. Jonny's guitar comes back in and we go back to this part here. That repeats 4 times. And then we have So You Can Hurt Me Bad, which once again is just Still I'll Raise, the flag. And then one more time with this part for Jonny's guitar. That repeats four times right there. And then we get back into, this is a good part right here, as you go into, as you're coming in from that part there, whether it's after the first verse or right here going into the outro, we're already set up pretty much exactly where we need to be. We just put our middle finger down here, and then we can just transition back into the main riff. See right there, we just lift up and we're good to go. And then we just repeat that riff once again until the ending. All right, so that doesn't do it for this lesson. Thank you guys for watching, and especially if you're newer here, I thank you for bearing through that with me, as I typically don't do guitar tutorials. It's mostly piano, and it's definitely more of a challenging where you have to think about the fret number and the string, whereas usually it's just look at my hands, here's this note, here's this note. This is more like, oh, I have to do, you know, this string and this string. It's definitely more complicated, more challenging, but it was a lot of fun. So if you guys liked it, let me know down below. I may actually do some more in the future, especially with Chris's, the more wackier tunings and songs and things like that. But yeah, this was once again based off my, well, it's based off the album version, but I played this in the Atlas Apart. If you don't know, I'm in an online band with a bunch of other people from around the world, and we did every Teardrop as a Waterfall cover, and I really worked hard to kind of learn the album version, the acoustic chords. So it's based on that. I'll have that link down below, as well as Joe Zealand's tutorial and his channel. Definitely check him out if you haven't already. He's fantastic when it comes to guitars. figuring out like Chris's chords and the tunings and stuff like that. He's great. So definitely subscribe to him. But yeah, that does it for this lesson. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.